Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are in another episode of our Transport Fever 2 playthrough series, picking up on where we left off in 1858. So we are currently paused, and if we take a look at things, our infrastructure routes are doing things. We're delivering food to Shenyang. We've got some intercity routes between them, and if we come up to the top of the map, we've got a nice little ferry service between Jaipur and Shenzhen, which is all very well and good. Little bit of combats going over here in Lucknow, um, which I'm sure we can build on later. Ha ha, boom boom. Unfortunately, as you can see, we have no money in the bank. We are absolutely positively being creamed by the maintenance on our vehicles. It is over 50% of our profits, which means we are really actually not in a terribly good way. And again, we have the same for water with our building infrastructure for our ports and our harbour and things, and it's just we are not making the money the way that we really need to be making money. So the question is, what do we do about it? So I am inclined to think that this route, which is running purely between the farm and the food production, is again, it's costing us 50% in maintenance costs. And if we look at our vehicles, we've got 8 vehicles on the route, which is this size, and that's quite possibly actually too many. The condition of the vehicles, for the most part, is good. That is not actually going to stay good for very long, I suspect. We haven't been playing very long, but the thing is, the lives of vehicles at this point in the game, they are actually really very short. And whilst we've actually got good conditions or very good conditions, they are on the limit of actually starting to go bad. And that's going to be a lot of maintenance. As they go bad, the maintenance costs are going to increase, and it's going to cost more money to keep them running year on year, and they're going to go slower and stuff. So they're actually going to be making less money. So all of these are going to turn into bad, and all of these are going to be following them very, very, very shortly. So we've got a few things which are in very good condition, which are very young, which would make sense to not actually get rid of quite immediately, but certainly there are too many vehicles around. I have very much in the yes, 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 thank you very much, yes, yes, you want a tip? 4.15 at Doncaster. Um, Unfortunately, I'm very much in the habit of Transport Fever 1, where I don't think the vehicle maintenance costs were anywhere near as crippling in the early game. And so, yeah, I'll put down a line and splat some vehicles and then go on to the next thing. And this is now biting us in the arse, which is something I think I did allude to in the previous episode, and I really believe is, well, I don't believe, I know for a fact this is going to come back and cripple us. I had a bit of a playthrough at the end of the last episode and ran on for a few years, and it was just replace everything, make no money. Get to the point where we're almost making money and have to replace them with vehicles again, so I'm making no money. So with that in mind, I'm going to do something utterly batshit crazy insane. Because anybody who knows me knows I'm pretty much batshit crazy. Excuse me. And I think for at least this line, we are going to take our vehicles and sell them all. And we are going to put in a, and please try not to laugh at this, a very, very short train route. We're going to put in a little bit of railway between the farm and the processing, and we're just going to put a little loco on there and load it up, because I'm hoping that it's going to be faster and carry more than we're getting out of the road vehicles. And I'm hoping also, desperately, that's not going to work, God knows, that we can not necessarily make more money, but yeah, possibly just lose less over time. So that's it. There are various lines. I think that we will sell one of our ships and just turn this into an incredibly slow ferry service, just as an idea, because quite frankly, the ships are only ever running pretty much about half capacity or only just over. So quite frankly, having two of them on the route is possibly more than we should have. If you actually look, on a good year, I do very, very well, and an average year, yeah, my running costs are 3/4 of what I'm making. So I'm hoping that, yeah, it's going to slow things down, because our cycle time from port to port is going to be a lot lower, but I'm hoping with only one ship on there that the maintenance costs are also going to come down and things are going to start making a bit more money. So that's the theory. That's the plan. When everybody's actually stopped laughing and picked themselves off the floor, and start putting in the comments why this isn't going to work, because let's face it, we all know it's not. Let's actually get on and start plumbing in a little bit of railway. This is all going to be fun and exciting for all of the wrong reasons, I suspect. But yeah, that's pretty much why you come here, isn't it? Let's face it. Okay, so if we get the game started and we take a look at a little bit of my life, yes, I can buy nothing. Cool. Awesome. Knew I was broke. I didn't think I was quite that broke. They are going to take an awful long time before they get back to their ports. That's inconvenient. I am not convinced that I'm going to have anywhere enough money, sorry, appear to be unable to speak currently, to run in a train line between Davio and Shenyang and replace our commuter route, because our commuter route, whilst it does make us acceptable money, at least it's actually making essentially twice what our running costs are. We do have 14 vehicles on here. They are in good condition. That is going to go downhill high speed, I suspect. So if we take a look at the loan, we only have 1.5 million left. So we're just gonna have to pretty much max out the loan and hope to goddess that we can make a bit of money before we go completely bankrupt and everybody sits around and laughs at me. Let's try and sell some of these things which are empty, because at the moment they're obviously not doing us any good whatsoever. And you are just hopefully dropping off. Wonderful. Awesome. Go and get sold. Nobody likes you. You have no friends. Right, so that gives us 1.6 in the bank. I suspect that is horribly not actually going to last very long at all. Really, this is possibly a disaster waiting to happen, but yeah, there we go. Why should we actually let such minor things like disasters actually slow us down and stop us having fun? This really is the stupidest piece of railway that anybody's put in the game ever, I suspect. I can't believe that even I am actually willing to do this. Right, okay, so let's have a little bit punch out there. There we go, and let's have a railway house, and yeah, that's burnt through disturbing amounts of money already, considering the fact that locos and, more importantly, actually, wagons are not cheap. I really don't know if this is actually going to be a good thing, but we shall but see. Right, okay, let's have a... Do you mind? That is really quite offensive. Yes, blah blah blah, woof woof. Right, okay, let's have a new line. We will go from here to there. There is no way that any locomotive, even the D30, is not even going to be able to get up to top end speed on a route that short, but we shall see. Right, so we want some freight, we want some train, and it's Busan Farm to Shen Food. Oh yeah, there we go. And do we actually even have enough money to buy anything? Okay, so our options are Class 5 or a Class T. Okay, they were actually... I was about to say a smidge cheaper than I anticipated, but that's not cheaper than I anticipated. So I guess we're going to end up with the Class 5 Type 1. That's 45 as opposed to 55. Power is 140, that's 60, yeah. We'll pop one of those on because, quite frankly, our cargo wagons are going to be stupidly expensive. So we are carrying grain, which is going to mean gondolas. There we go. The gondolas are pretty much the same price as the locomotive, so that is possibly depressing. They are carrying 7, so one of these will do almost 2 of our horse carts. So that's going to give us 21, which is going to be 5, and that's going to give us 8. Can we squeeze another one in there? This is pushing it enormously. That's going to be 1.3. That's not going to give us an awful lot of money left. I think we will err on the side of caution and just go with 21 capacity. Right, we will buy that whilst we actually still have any money and put that on Shen Food and stuff. And if we take a quick look at our first little bit of railway coming out of the engine shed. So there certainly should hopefully be fairly quickly a build-up of... Have I completely and utterly just cocked this up? Yes, I have put this in completely the wrong place. It's in contact with the road park, but it is not actually in contact with the bloody farm. Well, guess that just makes me a bit of a dickhead then. Because this is, I suspect, never actually going to get any grain on this. I don't think there's any way I'm actually going to be able to sort this out other than actually replumbing in the station, which is... yeah, that was stupid on the epic scale, I do believe. And if there isn't an epic one, there certainly should be, because I'm going to be the first person to sign up. Right, okay, so that is... let's try this one again. You know, this time only better. That's still within range. Gonna take a little bit of nangling, which means we're gonna have to delete some tracks. You want to run, little locomotive. Be the locomotive that could. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Birding. Right, so I'm hoping... okay, so that's now actually in range. Well, that was a bit of a... balls up, wasn't it, children? And if it gets to the other end, which is... well, that's reasonably definitely in range. Then maybe, possibly, hopefully, we can actually get some product turning up here. Thank goodness for that. That was otherwise going to be a horribly expensive gamble, which was about to leave me utterly bankrupt. Of course, we're only up to 6 so far, but if we push that out to 8, then that's at least 2 carts that we have replaced, and I'm hoping that, there we go, we're up to 10, so that's half a load already, and if we can do that purely on the way back, then we should actually be able to keep this thing running absolutely full bore, and keep this better supplied than we actually have done so far. Yeah, our consumption figures are certainly higher than anything we've actually been able to turn out through road transport, so with a bit of luck, I think we should actually be able and get a full load on board. Yes, we can. Yeah, and that leaves us with 5, so we are definitely going to be able to keep this thing running full, at least in one direction all the time, which is encouraging. And if we make a little bit of money, then maybe we can slap a few more wagons on there and just keep that happy going forward. Excuse me a moment, let's actually turn down.
Mankind is constantly creating amazing...
let's try that and see if it's slightly quieter. Excuse me. Right, so that's going to run down there at the heady 24 miles an hour or whatever it is, so that's capable of doing. So whilst we're actually doing that, let's actually go through and flog off our last few carts to try and recoup a fraction of the money that we've actually just spent. So hopefully we're actually now carrying twice as much, something like more than twice as fast as we would have been able to do with the hand carts. And we'll see in shortly if this will actually bring us through any profits and if we actually start making any money. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced, but we shall. Let's see. What do we got? Did we make any money? What was that, 56? Okay, so that was... we made enough to cover our running costs out of one run. Hopefully we can keep that up for the rest of the year. The question is, how long are we actually going to take to do a complete circuit backwards and forwards? So we've got 40 odd piling up, and we've only just started back from the other station. So that's just gonna sit there and do its thing, hopefully. Whereabouts are we? Let's bring that round. Let's take a quick look and see where our ships are. They are... yeah, I missed the possibility of flogging one of those off. That's a pain in the rhubarb. So if we can actually start making a smidge of money off of our grain route to food processing, it would be nice to actually put a few more carriages on there and hopefully start clearing a bit more cash through. Production is hopefully going to increase as we manage to supply it with more grain quickly. At least that's the idea. Anyway, let's actually turn on some afterburners and see if we can't actually get an idea of if this thing's actually going to be making us any money. Let's take a look and see where our ships are. They are probably going to come in about the same time as our Class T. Whatever it was. Was it? Yeah, it's Class V, sorry. Not Class T, I do apologise. Got that somewhat wrong. Let's see how we're doing this time. What's that? That was another 56? I didn't get to see that. Right, so that wasn't a bad run. We definitely got plenty of product at this end. The question is, how soon are we actually going to start running out of space for product at this end? That is something which is really quite concerning. Seeing as we've actually got a bit of money, we can edit this vehicle and see about lobbing in another gondola. And if we can get another wagon on there, then hopefully we can keep the amount of product down at the station so we're not actually losing stuff, and just make a bit more money per run. Let's whack that a little bit faster and see where we're going from there. How are we with our ships? And that just left. Rhubarb. And that just left too. Damn. So I prefer not to actually sell off half a load of passengers if we can actually get away with it. Whilst we're actually over here, let's look and see we are producing stone, hand over fist, and how we're doing with combats. We're not producing terribly quickly. What's the line doing? Well, the line's making surprising amount of money, actually. That is definitely one to keep hold of for the moment. That our running costs there are definitely not too bad. Money has come back surprisingly quickly, and if we take another look, we are running most of the way there. There you go, we're producing at a very fast rate. If we can actually start making a bit of money on this, then we can our Shen food route is very, very hit and miss, whether this is just due to lack of production or things, but this is ultimately pretty much actually, I think, costing us money long term. We actually take a look at our lines. Our purple is Shenfu, Davio. Yeah, this is losing us 5, 6,000, 7,000 a year. That is not funny on an epic scale. Our Shen Commute 1 is carrying a whole 2 people, and we've got space for 12. So let's take a quick look here and see if there's anything obvious that we can do other than get rid of it completely. So we got lots of people waiting for the cross country. So I think one thing that we could possibly do is maybe take a. You're actually carrying people. You're carrying nobody. Right, so you're actually going to go onto the cross country line, seeing as you're not doing anything bloody useful for us at all. You've got 1 of 3. You've got 3 of 3. You've got 1 of 3. We'll put some more vehicles on the intercity line because we have lots of people waiting. Nobody is really interested in doing the internal commute. Let's take a quick look here and see how we're doing. Again, yes, we are losing passengers. We're losing passengers on COM2. The question is, can we actually afford to splat down some more areas and see how we're doing? That is better, possibly. Maybe we're not actually just losing passengers at this point. That's that one, and the other one is all on the same side. Okay. Right, well hopefully we aren't turning people away or discouraging them, and maybe our intercity line will continue to make us some money. How's our train line doing? Again, running costs are over 50%. That is thoroughly depressing. I was hoping that we'd actually be able to make a bit more money off of this. But apparently, maybe that's just taking a little while to bed in. That's 150. Certainly the grain is flowing in. The production is definitely high, or improving anyway. Just wondering if we should think about another short-term railway into Shenyang, but don't know that it's going to be viable at this point in time. Whether or not we can actually run one down into Davio, that may actually be cheaper and get rid of this horribly depressing Yeah, on years where it actually works, it's actually working out not badly, but there are many years where it doesn't haul a single damn thing. Again, as I say, is that actually just a case of the fact that we weren't running sufficient raw resources in to actually keep production high? Those numbers are looking acceptable at this point. And they are bloody miles away from running through. Okay, so we have completely utterly maxed out our loan, which is utterly depressing, and I'm not seeing that we are going to be making sufficient money. Oh, we don't. We're in May. What did we do last year? Yeah, again, over 50%. The numbers are down. That's depressing. If we get the vehicle maintenance down a bit by getting some things off the road, then maybe that'll actually help with some of our running costs. 280, 150. Yeah, I think it's just a case of letting our little freight line bed in and see if we can't make a bit of money and tweak things. How is our vehicle status? Yeah, see, now we're actually starting to burn through our vehicle. That's actually 10 years. So these are going to need replacement. And this was exactly what I was running into on my playthrough. Because that's now going to take a solid third of whatever profits I've got. And it's just really going to be, and I have so I've replaced the first of those, and yeah, so this is exactly what was happening on my playthrough, in which case then this is obviously going to go horribly wrong horribly quickly. These are all passenger. Maybe they won't age quite so badly. So yeah, by the looks of it, I have completely screwed this up and pretty much just gone bankrupt out of the gate. So yep, everybody can actually now laugh at me. It is official. Get some money on there. Let's see if we can't tweak our vehicle with another gondola. Do you mind? Actually, don't think it does. Dirty high capacity. Because we now have huge amounts of food waiting at the station, and our little train is only capable of carrying, well, we've got 35 capacity now, which is, maybe we'll actually start to see a little bit of thing. Let's put some afterburners on and see what that does to our finances. That's, our running costs are just killing us right now, which is depressing. Are we actually getting more than one run per year? Which, considering how short it is, I would hope we get more than one bloody run per year. That's income of 93. keep an eye on that and see how it does going forward. Those guys are making progress. Running costs are still only half at the moment. They will doubtless go up. So it's taking 4 months or whatever it is. Let's see what we actually get out of this. That was another 90. That's down to 37. We are now officially broke. That's lovely and wonderful. Okay, so let's spy on these guys. Let's put it back to standard time, and as soon as we've unloaded everybody and done everything, then I think we will sell this and see if we can claw back just a smidge of cash. Considering how badly this is going already, I'm not convinced. So hopefully that service will actually start running full. It's only running 39, but by the time it actually gets there, we should actually have a full thing. Hopefully that will actually start running full in both directions, presupposing people don't get completely pissed off. So we're now at August, and we're doing what must be our third run of the year, and income 187. Yeah, so we are still... Ooh, my life, we actually have sufficient money to almost repay something, and then we didn't. In a big kind of shocker, but hopefully in a second our train will come in. And that will repay off the first thing of anything. So, not an awful lot happening here. I think we will leave it be for this episode. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.